Hi, everybody. Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas. So happy to be with you here today for some more turtly cute cards that I can't wait to share with you. So thanks for joining me. When you pop in, let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. Let's chat together as I craft, and that's what I love the most. Tuttle Up means come together, build community with me. And there's a long, funny story about that, how I came up with the name Tuttle Up. But basically, it means come together for community and fun. And that's what my why is. And that's why I'm here 3 days a week to show you some creativity and try to build a community within in this network of people who love to craft, right? So, before I get started crafting, I want to talk to you about a few things that are going on right now. First of all, there's a sale going on from Stampin' Up. Everything that it has one of these 5 new in colors in it is currently on sale for 15% off. And that by everything, I mean ribbons, reinkers, ink, of course. But if there is a designer series paper that has one of these colors in it, it's on sale. If there's a kit that has one of these colors in it, it's on sale. Markers, blends, everything that has the color cloud cover, darling duckling, secret sea, strawberry slush, or timid tiger, any of those 5 colors will be on sale right now for 15% off. So be sure to check out that sale. You don't want to miss out on discounts when they give them to you. They don't always give them to us very often, right? Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining me. Okay, secondly, we're almost to the deadline. The deadline will be this weekend for the Jar of Joy craft along. You get $25 in product. You get ribbon, a full double roll of silver and gold ribbon. You get peppermint embellishments. You get a half a pack of the Nest of Winter DSP, which we will be using the flip sides that have some great reds and greens and crumb cakes and beautiful colors in it. And we will make 10 cards together in this craft along, 2 each of 5 designs. I'm planning on coming in every day that last full week of August to do 2 cards with you each day until we're done with our little kit. Okay, so thanks for joining me, and consider being a part of that Jar of Joy. I've already sold a lot, so I would be happy to put a kit together for you and have you craft along with me that last week of August. Lastly, I just announced today in my email that I'm having a Charming Day Suite class, in person or to go, on September the 6th. This is a simple card class, and I say that because these cards are going to be very simple to put together. And 4 cards, $30. Or you can get it free with any $40 purchase. So think of taking the Charming Day class. The DSP especially is just gorgeous. I will show you that. How about I show you that tomorrow, just so you can get an idea of how beautiful this card class is going to be, and simple. I'm calling it the easy peasy card class. Okay, 4 cards, simple cards, but beautiful cards. All right. Okay, so that was just announced today in my email. If you'd like to be on my email list, that is the best way to know when things are coming up as far as classes and events for my Tuttle Up business. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go to my hands here. This week, we are featuring the Turtly Cute Suite, which includes the Turtly Awesome stamp set and dies, there are so many cool things about these dies, and I'm going to show you at least one of those today. Okay, so not only do you get dies for all the elements that are in this set, but you get some fun things like a banjo and a moon and a watering can and a chef's hat and an apron and a straw hat. Like, so many cool things. So I hope that we get the birds. This is the banjo bar. I hope that we are showing you some fun things you can do with this set. The suite also comes with this beautiful two-sided satin ribbon. One side has shaded spruce, the other side has soft sea foam, and that's gorgeous. These hexagon gems are a part of the suite. You can tell I've used a whole bunch of them, but you will get all you need to make these cards on your own, and this awesome turtle shell embossing folder. So fun. And then, of course, how cute is this DSP? Not only do you get turtles doing all kinds of fun things, right? Like grilling out. Look at this turtle with the chef's hat, going to the pool, just getting a drink, and sand castles and lobsters. You know, they have really created this to be a fun set. Lots of these elements, as you can see right here, can be die cut out with those dies I just showed you. And you get these, what do I want to say, labels in a sense, that you can just cut. And we used this one yesterday on our card with the bicycle. So lots of fun ways to create cute cards. Let's see if there's anything else in here that I missed. Oh, the gardening turtles. Those are fun. And then the back sides of this paper are just great prints. Some turtle inspired, like the turtle shells, but also some stripes and polka dots and musical notes, just all kinds of fun things. So I have two cards to do with you today. One is, well, let me show you the cards we did yesterday first, okay? So here's one of the cards we made yesterday, a Z-fold card. Thank you, Mary Ann, for reminding me about the name. But it says, hooray. It's got the turtle riding on the bike through the park, right? So cute. And inside it says, it's your day. So fun. And then this one is a birthday card. Hope your birthday is totally awesome. We actually stamped and colored and die cut all those pieces out today, and then the inside was just really simple there. Okay, so today's cards, I have one regular card but super fun, and one fun fold card for you. So I hope you enjoy these today. Let me pull out my parts here, and then I'll show you what today's card's going to look like when it's all done. So this is the card we're going to make today. The turtle holding the flowers and the birds. It says sweet friend there. And then on the inside, it says here for you always. Isn't that a sweet card? I love that. Okay, so let's put this together. Let me pull out my pieces. We're starting with a panel of pool party cardstock, cut 5.5 by 8.5, and scored down the middle at 4 1/4. I know, I love fun folds too, Sharon. It's always a great card. But you know what? I also like basic cards. Sometimes you just need a card, and you don't need to fuss over trying to make it a super fun fold. But fun folds are fun. I'm with you on that. Okay, so I have a piece of Darling Duckling that is cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then a piece of the DSP. This is the opposite side of those cute beach turtles. Kind of sad to cover those up, but it's a great stripe, right? Actually, we're using this stripe on both of our cards today. Okay, so I'm going to grab my liquid glue. I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back side of this panel. And I'm using liquid glue on this because it's going to be a very tight fit and I want the wiggle room, okay? So I'm getting it all around those edges there. There we go. Let me put the lid back on this. All right, so this is going to go right on this Darling Duckling panel. It's going to be a very tight fit, so I'm just making sure I get the edges really straight there. There we go. So now this panel is going to go on top of my pool party panel right here. And this time I'm just going to use some Seal Plus. This one's about to run out. I bet it'll do it before we end this video today. That always seems to happen. Lucky me. Okay, so this is going to go right here. Awesome. There we go. All right, so there is my front panel. Then I have two more pieces of white and Darling Duckling. So my white panel is 3x4. Hi, Linda. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm glad you're here. And here is the Darling Duckling, okay? So the basic white is 3x4. The Darling Duckling is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So again, just a very small little, what do I want to say? Edge around that. And I'm going to put this on with some Seal Plus. I probably should have used liquid glue, but let's see how good of a job I do. Huh? Not so bad. Right there. Okay, now I probably should have stamped the white first, but it's okay. We can do it. I am an expert, right? So I can stamp after I include something down. Hi, Imelda. So glad to see you here. You're always so sweet. Okay, so down here at the bottom, I am going to stamp some flowers. 1, 2. Okay, then I'm going to stamp my birds right next to those flowers. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp one more flower. There we go. I'm going to color these. So my birds are going to be pool party. So I'm going to start with a light. I'm going to end up doing this same thing on the inside of my card. You know, I love to bring the outside to the inside. So I'm coloring my birds with light pool party. And then I'm going to go in with the dark and just on some of the wings here and at the tail and just add a little contrast. Okay, there we go. Then for my flowers, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, a Daffodil Delight, and a Poppy Parade. And I don't even know if I'm going to use both colors of blends. I might just use the one shade of each of them. So I'm doing my leaves here. I'm going to come back in with my more bullet tip to kind of draw in that stem. There we go. I'm going to add Daffodil Delight to the inside of each of these flowers. I could have also used Darling Duckling. I had the Daffodil Delight out from yesterday, so I decided to just stick with the same shade of yellow. Okay, so I'm just coloring my flowers with Poppy Parade here, the petals. Okay, there we go. Now, I have a piece of the two-tone cardstock. Hi, Christina. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for coming. Taking a break from painting my kitchen, Linda. Oh, fun. Are you excited about painting your kitchen, or is it kind of a pain? I love to paint. I haven't had an opportunity to do that in the new house because when we moved in, everything was painted, but we did a lot of painting in our old house before we moved here. So I'm just ripping the edge off the two-tone. And what you should know about the two-tone is not only is the paper on one side a little lighter than the other, but it has a white core in it. So when you tear it, that white core shines through. So I'm just going to put this down here at the bottom to kind of look like grass at the bottom of my panel here. Oops, maybe a little bit lower. That bird's nose is going in the, there we go. Let me see. Maybe I just need to rip that. There's kind of a pokey edge right there that's hiding the bird's beak. There we go. Better. Okay, there we go. So then the last thing I did, and I'm just going to put a little Seal Plus right here, is I got my ribbon and I just tied it around and in a knot. So let me see if I can do a really good job of this. So I put a little Seal Plus on the back to kind of hold it in place, and then put a little Seal Plus right in the center here to kind of hold it in place. That might need to be a little bit longer, so let's try that again. I'm going to wrap the ribbon around to the right side here, and I'm going to tie it in a knot. There we go. Pretty. Okay, so let me grab my paper snips. Cut this off. And then up here at the top, kind of to the right side, I'm going to stamp the word Sweet Friends. So fun. Thank you, Debbie. I love that you're here from Michigan. We have Linda here from Ohio. We have Sharon here. We have Imelda here from right here in Midland, Texas. Thank you all for joining in. And Christina, I can't remember where you live. Remind us. There we go. Sweet Friend is what I'm going to put right there. Okay. Now that I have this panel done, I am going to pop it up right here on the front of my card with dimensionals. So let me grab those. I hear ya. Sometimes we just need a change, don't we? My entire house, every room in the house is painted the same color. It's a light gray. And then all my baseboards and door frames and doors are all white. If I ever want a change, it's going to be to add a little more color to my house in some of my rooms. It's pretty. It's nice. I like it. But I bet in 3 or 4 years, it's going to get kind of old. Okay, so there we go. There's where we're at so far. Georgia, yes, thank you, Christina. Okay, so this panel is cut from Pool Party. It is a 2.5-inch stitched circle, 2.5-inch stitched circle, okay? It's going to end up going right here, but maybe even a little higher, maybe about right there. Before I put it down, I'm going to stamp a turtle and some flowers. So I have another little scrap here that I did for my sample. So I'm going to take some Memento black ink, and I'm going to stamp this turtle. And 3 flowers. Maybe I'll stamp them kind of down here this way. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to do some coloring. So I'm going to color my turtle exactly the same way that I colored my turtle yesterday, right? Why bring in all new blends and everything? So his tummy here is going to be soft sea foam. There we go. And then I'm going to use my dark to just kind of go over these lines right here. Add a little dimension to it. There we go. Then I have light and dark granny apple green. So I'm going to use my light to outline his arms, and we're going to fill in with some dark. And the reason I'm using my point tip is you guys remember yesterday that my brush tip was a little soggy. So I ordered me some more green apple green yesterday. I have to tell you guys, I am very close to earning my next incentive trip with Stampin' Up. I'm within $1,000 in sales, or one downline promoting of earning the trip. Both are possibilities, and I think I'll probably earn it by the end of August. So I'm saying this to say thank you, all of you that have shopped with me this last year and helped me along. This Alaska trip, it's a cruise to Alaska, and it's been on my husband's bucket list for a very long time. So I really hope that I will earn this trip for him as a gift for all he has to put up with my obsession with Stampin' Up. He helps so much. He's a big part of my success. Okay, so thank you, Christina. I get overwhelmed every year. This way, if I earn this one, it'll be my 6th incentive trip to earn. And every year, you would think just your first year you might get emotional, but I get emotional every year because I just love it so much. And what a blessing that I get to do what I love and earn trips at the same time, right? I'm so thankful for everything this business and the God above has given me through Stampin' Up. I, like I said, have been a demonstrator for 17 years. It took me 11 to earn my first trip because I just it wasn't really my mindset at the time, right? But when I knew I was getting close to retiring, I thought, oh, it'd be really fun if I could do Stampin' Up full time, right? So I decided to work it as a business. There's been so much awesomeness come out of it. Okay, so his little nails here are going to be this garden green. Like I said yesterday, we don't have garden green blends. I don't know why. Sometimes they just decide not to do certain colors in blends, and I don't know why not garden green, but maybe they thought we had enough greens. I don't know, but I'm doing his shell dots in garden green. There we go. So there's my turtle. Then I'm going to go down here to my flowers, and I'm going to do the leaves in Granny Apple just like I did on the front panel. We're actually going to do this several times here. And then Daffodil Delight on the inside of each of these flowers. I hope you guys can see me. Okay, yeah, you can. I could go up just a little higher though, couldn't I? So I'm doing the center of the flowers and the Daffodil Delight. And then again, bringing in the Poppy Parade for each of my petals. Then I'm going to cut these out over here on my die cutting machine, and I have a cool little thing to show you about how this turtle die works. Okay, so let me grab my dies here. I'm going to pull out this guy right here and my flower. So my Post-it note tape is a must-have in any craft room where you don't want your dies to slide. Okay, then I'm going to do my flowers down here. Light gray is a great color, Linda, because anything goes with it. It's just a great neutral. And I really do love that my house is all gray. It allows you to add colors into it, right? Pretty easily as far as pillows and your furniture colors and that sort of thing. In fact, I have a lot of orange in my house. I use a lot of orange and turquoise. And I really like how it coordinates with, okay, I'm going to move this over to this flower, make sure everything's lined up on there we go. It allows you to bring in any colors you want, really, right? So that is the nice thing about gray. It's pretty popular right now too, I think. Or it was a couple years ago. I don't really pay attention much anymore. But when we redid our kitchen in our house in Lincoln, agreeable gray was the color I used. And I loved it. It's a great neutral gray. Has a little bit of brown in it maybe. I did most of my house in agreeable gray. Okay, so there we go. There's all my flowers and my turtle. So, cool thing about this turtle die is look at how it cuts the arm. It gives you a slat right there, right, in the arm. So guess what I'm going to be able to do is take one of these flowers and kind of tuck them under his arm right here. Isn't that cute? That's kind of a cute little feature. And then these two, I am going to put just a little bit of glue here on the back side of them and put them in his, what do you call a turtle's hand? I don't know. You don't say it's a paw, I don't think. Anybody know the answer to that? What do you call a turtle hand? Okay, so then this one, just kind of overlap it right like that. I'm going to make sure this one has a little glue on the front side here. So he's bringing flowers to his friend. There we go. Now, this is going to get popped up right on this pool party stitch circle, and I'm going to use some dimensionals on that. I hope. Here they are right here, making my life. Rocky Mountain Mist. Ooh, I like the name of that. Linda, I love Rocky Mountains, so I bet it's beautiful. And right here. Okay, so I strategically put some dimensionals over where those flowers are in both hands. I don't know what else to call them, of the turtle. There we go. Isn't he cute? Oh my goodness, so cute. Okay, so then this is going to get popped up right here next to all these flowers. And I'm okay with it overlapping that flower a little bit. I think it kind of gives it some dimension. Okay, so I'm going to put flat glue on this side of my turtle leg. He's got 4 legs. Okay, nice to know. Thanks, Debbie. And a dimensional over here because this side's going to pop up. This side is going to go flat right on that panel. Okay, so I'm going to put a dimensional on this side right near the edge. And I'm going to put some Seal Plus right here where it lays flat against that panel. You know, I always worry about how long my Facebook Lives are. But yesterday I was watching somebody's and it was 3 hours long and people were watching all the way to the end. So I thought, okay, I am not going to worry about that anymore. I'm adding some, oh my goodness, this one wants to stick to everything but what I want it to stick to. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, and then I'm going to put a larger one kind of up here in this corner here. 3. So that's the outside of my card. Okay, now the inside, I'm going to do, I have a panel of basic white and I have a strip of both the two-tone and the same DSP that I used on the front, the stripe, okay? So I'm going to do just what I did before. I'm going to tear off an edge here. I think the inside of this card is really cute. Okay, I'm going to put my DSP right on the edge of that Granny Apple Green two-tone that I just tore the edge off of. So I'm going to put some seal on the edge of this DSP. Nice thing about Seal Plus is if you get it off the edge, you can kind of just curl it like that and get it straight. And then this piece is going to go right across here. And it's eventually going to go right here on the front of my card. Okay, but before I do that, before I put that down, I'm going to put it over here. Let me move this over. And I'm going to see that this is about an inch tall. It's 4 boxes, okay? So it's about an inch tall. So I'm going to stamp some more flowers and birds on the inside. And I decided to do 5 flowers and then the birds on the left side. So let me grab my, and why I said 4 squares is because I want to kind of eyeball 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. I kind of want to eyeball 1, 2, 3, 4 right here about where to stamp my flowers. So I want a little tiny bit of the flower to be under that green, but not a lot of it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then the birds are going to go over here on the left side, right there. cute, right? Okay, so I now can put this on here. Very cute. That's perfectly, I might have gone a little too high on this side, but it's going to be okay. I'm going to show you. I'm going to add a little bit of blends. Okay, so here we go. Each of these leaves is going to be granny apple green. Okay, I'm going to do the stems, and on this one I'm going to go a little longer because I went a little high on that end right there. Or maybe my paper's a little low on that end. I don't know. Okay, there we go. There's my flowers. Here's the inside of each flower. There we go. Got my poppy parade for my petals. So the next card, all the elements we're using from the turtle set are going to be cut directly out of the DSP. So that's certainly a time saver. Sometimes I like stamping and coloring, and sometimes I want to hit the easy button, right? And just, here we go, do my birds. Just cut it right out of the paper. It's so nice that Stampin' Up! Gives you that option, right? There we go. And then a little detail on those birds. Okay. I'm going to take this panel. I'm going to add some Seal Plus to the bottom. And I'm going to attach it here to the bottom of my inside panel. Lift that and get that a little bit straighter right there. Perfect. And then I'm going to cut the excess off with my scissors. Okay. And then right inside the inside here, I'm going to stamp Here For You Always, and I decided to do that in Granny Apple Green. Tap, tap, tap. You don't have to push very hard on our ink pads. There we go. Here For You Always. I'm going to adhere this to the inside of my card base, and we are going to be done with card number 1 for today. Here we go. That's going to get put right in here. Yep, there we go. That's the end of that Seal Plus. Good thing I have another one on standby. I'll just pop a refill in that and it'll be good to go again. And this was cut just a little smaller than our usual 4 by 5 1/4. It is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. That's why it has a little bit more of a border on the inside. So there's card number 1. What do you guys think of that? Give me some love or thumbs up or hugs or whatever. I don't guess you can give each other hugs, but you know what I mean. All right, so that's the first card of today's. This one was stamped, and colored. So our next card is a fun fold. Can't wait to show this one to you. So you guys know I love fun folds where you can set them on top of a desk or a shelf. So this is our next card. Says hooray. It is an easel fold like this, and it really does stand up pretty nicely. And then it even has a white panel on the back where you can write a little happy birthday note. How cute is that? Okay, so let me show you how we made this. We're going to start with a panel of real red. And this panel is scored. It's 5.5 by 8.5 like we normally do. But it is scored at, let me go this side. It is scored at 2, 3 1/8, 5 3/8, and 6.5. 2, 3 1/8, 5 3/8, and 6.5. Okay? Now, this panel is the center, this center panel, let's go this way. Center panel that we want to pop out. So this first score line next to the center panel is going to go down. I'm going to grab a bone folder. And then the next panel is going to fold towards the center. Right like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this other side. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Christina. I think it's a fun card too. And then this one is going to fold out this way. So in the center of the back here, those score lines kind of shore up to each other. Okay. Now, the cool thing about the finished product here is that it is 4 inches by 5.5 inches. So it is going to fit easily into a regular envelope. Okay. So I have 5 panels here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start with our outside panels. And they were 2 inches, right? And I have 2 pieces of DSP that are 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. And they're going to get adhered to these outside panels right there. Okay? So let me grab my liquid glue. Again, I'm going to use liquid glue because it's a tight fit. Okay? And I want to be able to move it around if I need to. Okay, so here we go. This one right there, might move it up just a tiny bit. There we go. There's one of my outside panels, and then here is the other. So although this is our fun fold, it really is faster to put together than what I just did on my card. All the cutting and die cutting and coloring, which I love to do, by the way. I'm not complaining about that, but I'm going to show you that you can die cut images out of the DSP and make it a lot faster. Okay, so there we go. There are my outside panels with that turtle shell DSP. And then I have a piece of Darling Duckling that is cut 2 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it's going to go on this center panel. But we're going to do the scissor trick first. I like fun folds too. And I'm going to just rough up the edges here with my scissors to give it a little bit of texture. Okay. And then this edge right here. Okay, if you're watching on replay later today, still come on and say hi. Let me know you're here. That's always encouraging. All right, so there's my Darling Duckling. And here is my DSP that is cut 2 by 5 1/4. And it's going to go right inside that Darling Duckling. Okay. I probably should use liquid glue here. Trying to be smart. Okay. So this is an online class to go. What does that mean? You can get a kit to make all these cute little turtle cards with any online order of $50 or more in my Tuttle Up shop. And like I said earlier, I'm really trying to earn that Alaska incentive trip, and I would love any orders that you can give me because I'm so close. And that is thanks to all of you. Okay. I'm not too proud to beg for sales. I hope you love me enough and love what I create enough to want to buy from me if you're not already a demonstrator. So, and you don't always already have someone that you're loyal to, which I totally respect and understand. Okay, so here we go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is cut 2 pieces of this ribbon about 4 inches long. It's slick. It wants to run from me. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put some Seal Plus, maybe the one that works and not the one that doesn't, right here in the center of this panel. And I'm going to crisscross these ribbons just like this, just to add some ribbon to the background of this panel. Okay. Okay, right like that. All right, so I have cut from my Spotlight on Nature dies a large circle. This is how large? Let's look. 3 1/4 inches, and it's the one that has the dashes and dots around the edges. And this is going to get, let me remind myself here. Yep, popped up right here on the front. So I don't want any dimensionals over here, right? So I'm just going to add a couple of dimensionals on either side of this ribbon, kind of right in the middle. Boop. One more right here. And I'm going to pop off those backings and put my red circle right there in the center of this middle panel. There we go, right like that. Okay, now I've cut another circle from my stitch shapes, and this one is a 3-inch circle, and it's going to end up going right inside that red circle, okay? But I'm going to grab my Pool Party ink and a blending brush, and I'm just going to add a little Pool Party. You start off, see how it made a bump there? That's what happens. That's why you always start off of your paper and go to the inside. I'm just blending a little Pool Party to the center here. Okay. And then I have already die cut some pieces out of my DSP. So I have a turtle. Okay. How cute is that? His arm opens up just like my last turtle did. This one's a little different. He looks a little more like he's running, I think. And then I have a birthday cake that I cut right out of the DSP that's going to go right here in his hands. He's going to be carrying that birthday cake. He's going to have a party hat on his head that, again, was cut right out of that DSP. So let me add a little liquid glue to these. Right to the edge of his top of his head right there. This guy looks as goofy with a hat on as I do. I was talking about that the other day. I look so bad with a baseball cap on. I've never liked to wear baseball caps. I wish I do, because I think the people who do look so cute in them, but they just look horrible on me. I think I have a weird shaped head or something. Okay, so oops, we don't want the flames in his face, so we're going to go kind of like that. Okay, and then the balloon is going to get attached right like that. How cute is this? Now, all of these pieces were cut right out of the designer series paper. Here, let me see if I can grab that piece for us so that you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, of course, it's not going to pop right up for me here. Oh, here it is, right here. So you see, all I did was die cut out this turtle, a balloon, a cake, and a party hat, all from that same designer series paper. Okay, so this one is going to get attached behind him here. So I'm just going to add little seal right there and make sure my balloon attaches right like that. And then this cute little turtle is going to get popped up right on this circle right here. Cute, huh? I'm going to add some dimensionals. And I don't know why I always feel like I'm working with the edges here. I must go through a lot of dimensionals, right? I'm sure I do. So this is going to go right there, right here. All right. Throw on some gems here on the front and then do the white panel for the back side. And we are done with day 2. It's a rainy day here in Midland. I'm just now seeing the sun come out, but we got quite a pouring this morning. We don't get those very often here in Midland. Okay, here we go. Cute. I have a panel of Pool Party that I cut out of the Stylish Shapes dies, right? And I'm going to use the word hooray on this, and I'm going to go to my Memento black ink. And the turtles are different colors. I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. I'll show you the one I made earlier compared to this one. Hooray. It's going to go right there. And the fun thing about this is because of that slit in the arm right there, right? This can slide underneath it as well. Hooray. Right like that. Cute, huh? I like how it can slide underneath the arm like that. It's extra fun. Okay, so it looks like I can just glue it right down here. Maybe put a dimensional way far on this far edge right here. Maybe a skinny one. Partial one. There we go. Cute. And then I'm going to grab some dots and sprinkle them on. Let's see, what color do I want to use? I think on this one I'm going to use these more greeny apple green ones. Okay, so this month's craft along is the Jar of Joy. We have another week until the registration closes for that. I just announced another class at the start of my video today that is the Charming Day class. It's going to be beautiful. It's a simple card class. It's only 4 cards and $30 and beautiful, beautiful cards. Okay, so there we go. Hooray! Isn't that fun? And it's going to sit on top of someone's desk right like that. Only one more thing to do, and that is to stamp this white panel with a balloon at the very bottom in Memento Black. So the Jar of Joy Craft Along, you get lots of product. The peppermints, the DSP, the silver and gold ribbon, and everything to make 10 cards. All right, so I'm using my Poppy Parade blends here to color in this balloon. Starting with the light. There we go. I'm going to add a little dark. You know, I'm getting this all in less than an hour. I'm pretty proud of that. That first card was a little labor intensive, but I love the outcome. I hope you guys did too. There we go. And then this is going to attach to the inside. Here we go. You can write a little note right there. Say, happy birthday. How cute. Is this not so cute? How fun is that? And you guys, you know, I love a good easel card, right? That can sit on top of someone's shelf or desk. Super fun. So let's let's recap everything we've done so far in the last 2 days. We have our fun fold here. Super cute. We have our sweet friend, I'm here for you card right there. We have our hope your birthday is turtly awesome. And we have our bike riding turtle card as well. Cute, right? How fun are these? And then tomorrow, join me here at noon and we will do a 3D project using the turtles. They're turtly cute, aren't they, Sherry? Everything's so turtly cute and turtly awesome. So thanks for joining me here today, you guys. I'm always humbled that people show up to watch me craft. So God bless, and come back tomorrow at noon. I'll put all the information about upcoming classes and how you join my email list, right? And information on how you can go to my Tuttle Up shop and shop with me to get this card class to go, or just because you want to shop with me. Either one. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the thumbs up. And thanks for sharing me out to your friends. I appreciate you all so much. So bye-bye.